Disillusionment with America's political process is high, especially among young people and progressive citizens. What do you think of arguments in favor of casting protest votes or no vote at all? I have a very strong opinion on this one.
Let's hear it. I'll give you 10 minutes.
It won't be that long.
Okay, let me know.
I think if people choose not to participate in the political process, I'm totally fine with that. I feel like it may not be your thing. I don't understand protest votes in a two-party system. I just think it's irresponsible. Yeah, so that's where I sit. Like all these people who are undecided, it's like you have two choices, decide or get out of it, but that's pretty much it.
Right.
Or people writing in their cats for candidates. Right. I mean, I don't understand that. Like, be a grown-up already.
Right. I got you. Okay. I feel the same way.
We don't have many grown-ups in the U.S. Don't you know this is a youth culture?
We're so positive, Leonie. We really. You haven't seen it yet, but.
Were you done, Leonie?
I am. For now, yes.
Okay.
Anybody else?
I know Georgette got something to say, huh, Georgette?
Oh boy. Well, you know, I can't agree with not voting at all. So, all right. Well, if you have to write your cat in, but you came to vote, okay? Make it look good, because there are other people on the ballot. You know, you're voting for your local government too. So surely there's somebody in there you can vote either for or against. And I think in this election, it's been mostly you're voting against something or someone. But show up, because they're looking at the numbers. Okay, and if you have a problem later on, you can say, well, I voted for you, no, whether you did or not. I need a solution. So, but if you're a voting member, and they do look at the voting rolls, they look at who's voting where. And so I've seen where that affects the way people respond to your questions and your problems, especially at the local level and in local government, because if they see you're a voter, they're going to call you back. They're going to answer that email, okay? Because they don't want to be voted against the next time an election pops up. So I think it gives you a certain sort of a position of power, as small as it may be, because we don't really have much power, but it's something, and that's better than nothing. So that's where I'm at on that.
I'm gonna change my answer then after that, hearing that. I will just say this: if I were an American, I would always vote, because I do realize, in hearing you say that, yeah, I do realize that you guys vote for more things than we do. Like, there's nobody runs for dog catcher in Canada, so, or for a lot of the stuff at the local level. So I think in that case, if I were in a system where that was the norm, I would probably say everyone should vote. But we have a different kind of bureaucracy here. But I think if I were in an American bureaucracy, yeah. So I just want to add that caveat.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, I'm in the same place, Georgette. You know, I can't get with this not voting at all. I don't care what your problem is. And, you know, people are not, it seems that a lot of young people are not moved by the sacrifices that generations of Black people have made to make sure that we could have a voice in the system that was impacting our lives. But I am very grateful and appreciative of those ancestors, and I would never dismiss their contributions. So that's one issue. An equally important issue for me is the fact that the political system at every level does different things that have an impact on our lives. And so, yeah, Georgette, you're right. It's a midget of power that we have. But we need to use whatever power we have in the best way we can. I think the Black Lives Matter people made a strategic mistake when they decided they were not going to endorse any political candidate. You know, that's not life in America. Life in America is show that you can bring the people to the polls, show that you got somebody's got your back, that you matter. And I think that when you say that you're not going to vote at all, that is being interpreted as you don't matter. You don't matter. The ones that matter are the ones that take 5 minutes out of their day to go to the polls and cast a vote. And so, you know, I think that there's not enough political education that goes on in the community, and we don't understand the different ways that different levels of government, federal, state, local, regional, school districts, special districts, we don't understand the way that different levels of government impact the quality of our lives. But at the federal level, you know, the next president is going to nominate, you know, possibly 4 justices to the Supreme Court. Those bastards are going to be on there until they die.
Oh,
you know, and and they are going to be passing judgments on what is the law of the land for years to come. You know, so when we talk about civil rights policies or voting rights policies or women's rights policies or workers' rights or the environment or consumers or employment or housing, we say we want the government to put more money into affordable housing. We say we don't want the government to send our children off to die in senseless wars. All of those are decisions that are made at the federal level. And so I get angry when I hear people saying, the federal elections don't matter, you know, just focus on the local elections. No, we got to be focused on the whole picture, because the whole picture is focused on us.
That's true.
You know, so that's the thing, though. That is why, you know, regardless of how limited our power is, you know, I believe it is always the wiser choice to cast your vote until we can do better, until we can make our voices stronger, until we have an opportunity to educate ourselves about the role that government plays in our life. And all of that is work that needs to go on in between elections. You know, that's why, as I said earlier, you just don't, you just can't jump out there 6 months before an election and expect that you're going to have a real chance of changing a system that is almost 250 years old. And if we really want to get serious about changing that system, then Leonie, let's have an adult conversation about how to do that. You know, let's stop with the tantrums because we're not getting everything that we want from this system, and have a real adult conversation about what is the strategy and what is the plan to put, and what is the vision of this better system that we want to have into place. And I'm telling you, it's not going to happen 6 months before the election. And so there's a lot of work to be done in between elections, you know, from the moment a candidate is elected at whatever level, federal, state, local, at whatever level. Just because you took 5 minutes and went and voted does not mean your real work as a citizen is done if you hope to have more influence in the process than just being a name on a voter roll. You know, so we have taught our politicians that they don't have to pay attention to us. We have taught our politicians that we don't matter, because once we elect them, we walk away. And they have learned they can do just what they want to do. They, you know, you all know they have that big, what is it, the congressional weekend, the CBC weekend, that they have a big old party. Have I hit my time limit?
No, I was just a little distracted because Clint, your favorite nephew,
is he here?
Is not here, but he just reported that Connecticut hates Trump, going by the numbers.
Okay.
Oh, good. I'm glad you feel proud of that.
That's one state.
Yes, he just texted me and said, "Mom, Connecticut hates Trump." Going by the numbers. I'm sorry, I got excited.
Well, I just, as soon as you said that, I saw a projection on the screen I have on MSNBC that was 200 for Clinton and 235 for that other guy.
Well, what state are you talking?
It's just a projection, I think.
Oh.
I don't know.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Whose children had civics in their schools? Were you taught civics?
No.
Your children? No?
I don't think mine did.
No.
I think that's part of the problem. We don't understand where we fit in the political process.
Right.
And it's worse now because now they just teach to the test. They just teach what's going to be on the test, and that's it. And they don't teach it in a manner for you to even learn that. It's just enough for you to regurgitate it and get you through the system.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my younger brother, who is, I guess he's about to turn 47 now. He may be the last generation to have anything like that, because I remember him being involved in a youth in government. I did a model UN, but he did a youth in government program that was a similar kind of thing, where they took over the state house in Trenton. But by the time my son came along, they weren't doing that kind of thing. Yeah.